they would fucking find her.
Yeah.
Lily would, and Cece would fucking
destroy her. She'd need to
There's no running
DB
from
Cooper.
the Rhodes, Vanderwoods, and Basses.
living somewhere out in a cabin in the woods. And a private SWAT team will show up.
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there, you just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, the rookie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, what am I now that we're in season 5?
I don't know, but something I learned early on, never watch A Clockwork Orange while you're stoned. It takes your mind to places it has no business going. Also, I'm Batman.
Like Blair's wedding shower that you and I were somehow left off the list.
Tragic oversight.
Rude, Serena. So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm diving in for the first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course, serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And expect some iconic fandom moments too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we are all about inclusivity here on the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always a seat for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab a mimosa, a cup of coffee, or roll up what Dan got a hit of this weekend, and go ahead and let's get started.
This episode will be releasing on 4/20, so happy 4/20.
Happy 4/20.
And also, hopefully, by the time this episode releases, we will have our very first Patreon exclusive episode.
Yes.
So
very excited about that.
Check that out. You can go to patreon.com/nonjudgingbreakfastpod. And you want to sign up for the Blair's Minion or higher tier to be able to get access to that episode.
Yes. Very excited about that.
But today we are here to talk about Season 5, Episode 8, All the Pretty Sources. The original air date was November 21st, 2011, and was based on the movie title, All the Pretty Horses. Not seen it, but...
No, it's me neither.
Directed by Billy Bob Thornton, starring Matt Damon, Penelope Cruz, and Henry Thomas. Two Texas cowboys head to Mexico in search of work, but soon find themselves in trouble with the law after one of them falls in love with a wealthy rancher's daughter.
All right.
This episode was written by Austin Winsberg, another first-time writer, goes on to write 2 more episodes this season. Written for a handful of shows, nothing really stood out. He was also listed as the creator for a show called Jake in Progress.
I think I saw an episode of that. I have no real complaints on the writing in this episode.
This is a much better episode.
Yeah. This was a much better episode than what we've been getting. And I have no complaints about the writing other than anything I didn't like, it was handed to him and not...
Yeah, overall story arc.
Yeah, it's overall story arc things.
The episode was directed by Sherry Newlin. This is her one and only episode of Gossip Girl, but been a TV director from 92 until present. Worked on things like the 90210 reboot, Grey's Anatomy, and Blood and Oil, which starred Chase Crawford.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a one-season show.
Mm-hmm.
Notable guest stars this week, we have the return of Michaela Annette and Ellie Pettit as the mini Serena and mini Blair.
Mm-hmm.
And we also had Mary O'Rourke and Darcy Filona credited as bored strippers. And once again, returning, we had friend of the pod, Alice Callahan, along with Amanda Setton and Nan Zhang, back as Blair's minions. That would be Jessica, Penelope, and Cotty. And, of course, we have Hugo Becker as Louis. And I was actually looking at a recent picture of him. He looks strikingly like Adam Brody.
Oh, really? That's pretty funny.
He's got like a beard and stuff like that going on now. Shaggy hair. Of course, we have Elizabeth Hurley as Diana, Brian J. Smith as Max, and James Naughton as the grandfather.
Yes.
Why don't you give us that Vulture recap?
All right, here's what Vulture had to say. Despite his recent trip to Italy, which faces real problems, Prince Louis was still twitchy upon his return to the Upper East Side over the goings-on among New York City's leisure class. He's barely put down his conciliatory gift to Blair and finished claiming to be a better man before declaring, in the grand tradition of overly possessive ex-boyfriends, his belief that her friends were not looking out for her best interests. Au contraire, mon frère. Last night, the scheming when plotting was left to the outsiders, as many of the characters bestowed kindness on one another. Serena orchestrated a Tiffany's-themed shower for Blair, and even roped her minions into containing the surprise. When Dan grew despondent over his outsider status, Chuck shared with him his wisdom, his pot, and even his hookers, proving that Lonely Boy is not so much of an outsider after all. Even tooth-bearing, cougaress Elizabeth Hurley showed a softer side. The Maud to Nate's Harold, she sacrificed herself so that Nate might live on, unencumbered, in this case, by a terrible secret that would blow his pure and honest mind. She's actually a man and having a gay affair with his grandfather. Just a guess.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. It would be a lot more I'd be interested.
What do you think the secret is? I assume you think you know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's Chuck's dad. I think it's that she's Chuck's mom. But then it makes me wonder, is grandfather Chuck's real dad, and did Bart raise this kid some weird thing like that? But I do think that the biggest secret is she's Chuck's mom, or maybe Nate's mom.
That one's a little harder to fake.
Well, other than the fact that if grandfather was like, you will raise this kid.
We get into Act 1 with a Gossip Girl blast. A shower is supposed to make you feel fresh and clean, but on the Upper East Side, they're where I get the most dirt. And B's bridal shower tonight promises to be an absolutely filthy affair. The only two people left off the list, number 1, Chuck. As for number 2, in high school, D got left off the list because no one knew who he was. Now it's because they know all too well. Looks like Lonely Boy needs to change his name to Banished Boy.
First of all, I loved how that was delivered, only partly from Gossip Girl, and how Dan delivered the end.
Yeah.
But the other thing, I know I don't often comment on the Gossip Girl things, but this one, something really stood out. She said, I get all of my best gossip at showers. You cover teenagers. For all this time, how many showers have there been, Gossip Girl? How many of these teenagers were getting married or pregnant?
At this point, at least 3 years worth.
Sure, but it's still like, is that really where you get all your best stuff?
And they're probably also going to showers from people she's covering are going to showers from people from ages 20 to 30.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I feel like it is not something that has been, because she so regularly goes after the same people, that they have not been in, this is the first, second shower in the show Did Lily have a shower? I forget.
Probably.
I think Lily had one for the Bart wedding, but not for the Rufus one.
We get Gossip Girl's episode intro during shots of Serena prepping gift bags for Blair's shower. Not much to see there.
No.
Next, we see Chuck, a walking monkey in the park, and he is confronted by Mini Blair and Mini Serena.
Loved this scene. It was so good. When he's like, I will feel no remorse if I let my attack dog on you, and I'll have you know it's trained to attack fake Prada.
Burn.
Burn.
Dan is reading Gossip Girl's blast to Lily and Rufus as he complains about not being invited to the shower. Poor Dan.
Oh, I wrote a book and all my friends hate me because I talked shit on most of them. Yeah, Dan.
Exactly
and he's
like
also
you predicted.
Lying about the book tour again. Like, Dan.
Maybe the writers decided that was too dark for Dan.
Yeah.
And he actually did go.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really make sense. Just go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a free trip.
Yeah,
out of town.
A free trip across the country in all of these bookstores.
Yeah.
To sit there and sign. If you sign one, if you sign 50, who cares?
Yeah.
The less you have to sign, the less you have to interact with people, Dan. This is perfect for you. You could go and not have to deal with anybody.
Louis returns to Blair's room, gifts in hand, and apologies spilling out of his mouth. Blair forgives him and begins talking about the shower, but Louis tries to throw some shade at Serena and the rest of her friends.
Did that all happen in the same scene?
Yeah.
Louis, fuck all the way off. You come in, oh, I'm so sorry that I was such an asshole about...
I mean, there is more arguing later, in a later
Right,
scene.
yeah, in an upcoming scene. But it's like you come in with all these gifts to apologize, and like Gossip Girl, or like you just said, he doesn't even set them down before he's shitting on her friends.
Love bomb, and then isolation.
Yep. Demonstrate value, engage physically, nurture dependence, neglect emotionally, inspire hope, separate entirely.
But that's not what he's trying to do.
Yeah. He's already got her to fall in love with him. He doesn't need to.
Well, he doesn't want to separate entirely.
Yeah, he doesn't want to separate entirely. He's just. Well, yeah, he's
This is
just
definitely
gaslighting.
this is not the dentist system. This is the I want to control and put you into an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want you to be this pretty thing on my mantelpiece.
Yeah, I saved you from that abusive relationship so I could put you into a new abusive relationship with me.
Nate is showing the grandfather around the spectator, and he says he's impressed with it. Enter Diana, who plays dumb about knowing the grandfather.
We all know you know the grandfather, but like, yeah, I mean, I know Nate doesn't, but God, I just can't wait for her to be gone. And I feel like I'm not done with her yet, despite all signs.
Definitely got, I mean, you don't reiterate that she has a big secret right before she leaves.
Right.
Forever.
And you don't have her say, I'm about to wage war on you. Yeah.
Well, she stops that because the list was out. We'll get to that to see.
Yeah.
Ivy gets a call back from Carol because Ivy is panicking about getting caught. Carol threatens to take Ivy down with her if she tries to run.
So, Ivy, you have all the money you need right now to disappear. Just write yourself one big check and disappear. Change your identity. Go to Portland with Max. I mean, not that you really want to be with Max. Not that Max is a good
that would
person.
never work with these people. No. They would fucking find her.
Yeah.
Lily would, and Cece would fucking
destroy her. She'd need to like
There's no running
DB
from
Cooper
the Rhodes, Vanderwoods, and Basses.
living somewhere out in a cabin in the woods. And a private SWAT team will show up.
We jump back into Blair and Louis arguing. Louis says he has created separation from his family, and Blair should do the same with her friends. Completely unrelated, FYI. When your partner tries to isolate you from friends and family, it's a big red flag. Just then, Gossip Girl Blast comes through talking about Blair's paternity test, and of course, Louis, one of Blair's friends, just had the tip. When Blair goes to ask Serena about it directly, Serena closes the door to their conjoined bathroom in Blair's face.
This was when I was really like, Louis, like, fuck all the way off. Like, this is just the thing that you left in shame for was doing this stuff. Like, she's mad at you in the first place for fucking with her friends.
And just being manipulative in general.
And just being a manipulative, gaslighting fucking prick. Man, my hatred of Louis has increased every episode this season. He's just the fucking worst.
Now that Nate has left, Diana and the grandfather drop the pretense of not knowing each other. The grandfather is pissed that Diana and not Nate is the center of attention. He gives her 72 hours to accomplish her goals, or else she is fired as editor-in-chief.
Why is he your boyfriend? I love how he's like, I've got this magazine here. Why is he your boyfriend standing behind you and all this? But yeah, it's this plot to rehabilitate Nate and make him the editor-in-chief of a newspaper.
Because he earned it.
Yep, because he earned it. He's earned it by now.
I cracked up so hard at the thought.
Of Nate earning something. He earned it the way I've earned everything and the way my father before me earned everything.
Yeah.
By being a white man in corporate America.
Dan does an unannounced popover to the Empire Suite, hoping Chuck can distract him from not being invited to the shower. At first, Chuck is nonchalant and casually insults Dan multiple times. However, when Chuck glances at an article about Blair and Louis, he changes his tune and says he's in.
Yeah, I love I love the Dan Chuck stuff. I loved every part of that in this episode. I loved every part of the friendship. We'll get to Penn's acting drunk later.
Max shows up at the penthouse looking for Ivy. He shows Lily a picture of Charlie on Gossip Girl. Charlie walks in and it cuts to a commercial break.
Should have stayed in Portland, Max.
And Gossip Girl has this to say as we go to the break. Seems Charlie's in hot water and she's about to get burned.
Yeah. See how you get out of this one, Charlie.
So we get into Act 2, and Charlie, apparently on the spot, comes up with an excuse that would make Jenny proud. She convinces Lily that Carol forced her to go under the name Ivy Dickens to hide her family wealth.
Yep. It was a really good, like you said, Jenny-esque move. Thought on her feet, got out of it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It was well done, Charlie.
At The Spectator, Diana explains her 72-hour deadline to Nate without telling the full story. They decide their only hope is to attack Gossip Girl directly. When Diana wishes they could hack Gossip Girl's phone, Nate has an idea.
I have an idea. I'm going to call someone smarter than me.
Well, I said this before, but Nate really is just Tommy Boy.
Really, yeah. Lots of people spend 7 years in college.
And I would have loved to see a young Chris Farley play Nate.
God. Now I'm just picturing like the Chris Farley reaction when the stuff gets released. Oh, Diana. Oh.
Yeah. It would be so much better.
It would. Love you, Chase, but
I mean, is that Chris Farley isn't quite as pretty as Chase Crawford, but right. He's a lot more charismatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Snacks, whiskey, weed, and Keanu. These are the tools of distraction Chuck has presented for himself and Dan. It's not working, though, because Dan can't stop whinging about Serena not inviting him and ruining his movie. Chuck tells Dan he needs to be a man of action and leaves him alone with 2 escorts who get off the elevator.
This is the first time we've seen Dan smoke pot, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he's much of a weed guy. So, in fact, I don't think we've really seen him drink much either, have we?
He does once in a while.
Yeah, I guess when
he's at parties, he drinks beer.
Yeah, and when he banged Georgina, he was drunk.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's definitely drank before, but I don't think we've ever seen him smoke before.
No. Although who knows what they all did that night where he hung out with Chuck last time.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He at least did pills.
Yeah,
some kind.
Yeah.
They could have been Tylenol for all we know.
Right. Which that would be the most Chuck thing to do, too. You want to really live in my world? Like, make him snort some Tylenol.
As I mentioned at the top of the episode, IMDb lists them as strippers, but they are clearly not, a little more than strippers.
Yeah, they're clearly prostitutes.
Yes.
Like, they come in, and it's like, yeah, hey, these women are here for your delight, Dan. Go be a man of action.
Yes.
At the very best, they're just gold diggers. Like with the thought of maybe if I sleep with this guy, I'll have access to his money. But more likely, Chuck hired prostitutes for Dan.
Yes.
Which, you can't say Chuck isn't a good friend.
Nah.
Chuck looks out for his friends the way Chuck knows how to look out for people. What would I want in this situation? I'm going to go take Monkey for a walk.
I have to say, the dog is working on me a little bit.
Yeah. I hate how much it's working on me. Like, it is such a great addition.
The daddy issues can totally miss me. But the dog kind of gets me a little bit.
Yeah.
Blair is shopping with the minions and try to pry info about the shower out of them. They lie and tell Blair Serena has been really busy and it's going to be a low-key casual affair. Blair begins to spiral. Louie's earlier words about her friends are starting to take root in her head.
That made me sad. And there was a small part of me that hoped Louie was in on it. That Louie was like, oh, your friends don't really have your back as part of the thing. I didn't really feel that was the case, but I was hoping there would be that reveal that, like, maybe Louie is also playing along and loves the friends and it's fine. And obviously...
But also, Serena, when will you learn this fucking bait and switch for the parties is never a good idea?
Yeah.
It always pulls up in your face.
Yeah, always. Although, honestly, it really didn't this time. Like, it wasn't...
And it didn't really in the Nate case either, because the only time it really blew up because it was slightly different was the Jenny case.
Yeah.
But that was a different type of base because that case, she said she was giving the party that Jenny wanted and gave her something different.
Right.
In all the other cases, it was saying the lame party and giving them what they want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole like surprise thing with Nate. Yeah.
But of course, she does always get away with it in the end because she's Serena.
Because Serena gets away with absolutely everything she ever does.
Also from the scene, what was Penelope wearing?
Oh yeah,
it looked like a smock.
Yeah,
like a floral painting smock.
Yeah,
with a skirt attached to it.
Yeah,
it just was very ill-fitting and just didn't look good.
Yeah.
Serena receives a text from Penelope letting her know their deflections are working. She then gets a call from Nate who tells her to check her laptop. Nate created a webpage, which apparently is something he can do.
Yeah.
He got Jonathan to hack Gossip Girl again and has published a list of all her previously anonymous sources. Serena convinces them releasing it would hurt their friends and they shouldn't release the list. Unfortunately, Diana overhears Nate and Louie on Serena's end.
Oh man, there was something I had to say about this. This was Serena and convinces Nate not to post the thing, right?
Yeah.
And
Nate calls her and says, like, here, I created this thing.
I created this website. That's what I wanted to address. I believe that when Nate says, I made this website, that it's actually Jonathan made the website, but because Nate told him to do it and it's on The Spectator, he's kind of taking the editorial we here. Like, yes, I made this website by having someone do it for me. Nate, you didn't make a website.
Or maybe he did.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Ivy, alone with Max in her room, says she still loves him, but she can't be with him right now. She offers him $50,000 to go away, and she will follow him in a few months.
She's not going to follow you, Max. Max, just go. Take the money and go.
On his way out, Max tells Lily it was nice to meet her, and she shows him a family portrait. When he sees Carol, he goes from nice guy to scheming villain all in an instant.
Like a flash. You just see him, like in his face, you see him just go from like fucking the Beef to Eddie Haskell.
The nice I'm just this country bumpkin cook guy.
Yeah, like he goes from being Colin Hanks in like any of his comedic stuff to Colin Hanks in Dexter. Just like a quick flash of like, oh, that's her mom. Well, motherfucker. Also, I feel like Lily, when he's like, oh, Mrs. Humphrey. Like, yes, I'm Mrs. Humphrey.
God, what the fuck am I doing?
What is that? What is that the name? Why didn't he take one of my names? Why couldn't he be Rufus Vanderwoods?
This is what Gossip Girl says as we go to the next act break. Uh-oh, Charlie. Your mother of a lie is about to get you stuck in one big parent trap. We move into Act 3. Diana is a giddy schoolgirl after she has gotten a chance to look at Nate's webpage. However, when she realizes Nate has never sent a tip to Gossip Girl, he convinces her not to release the list. When Nate leaves, she makes a call to someone and says we need to talk.
Okay, first I want to bring something up about the previous scene that we had just mentioned with Lily. Do you think Lily has ever, maybe since her first husband, do you think she's legally changed her name?
Sure, why not? Because it's just a bunny thing.
Yeah, I could almost see it that like I could almost see all of her checks being Lily Rhodes and it not being a legal thing because why bother? You're right that it could also just be like, oh, well, it's just signing checks and sending paper to someone. But I could also see her being like, sure, Rufus, I'm Lily Humphrey. Now on to the matter at hand. I paused the show and stood up and said, Nate is Gossip Girl. At this moment, I don't know who it's going to end up being, but at this moment, the writers think that Nate is Gossip Girl. And I missed the earlier hint with the whole, like, a website I made that Nate is saying I have the capacity to make it a website. But when she pulls up the emails and there isn't a single one from Nate and he is unfazed by it, I paused it and I stood up and I said, Nate's Gossip Girl. As of right now, I don't think Nate's going to be Gossip Girl in the end, which what makes me even happier is that if they don't make him Gossip Girl in the end, right? If they do change it again and have it be somebody else, then that means canonically he is not Gossip Girl now, and he really is just the super fucking nice guy that we really want Nate to be. I can't imagine. Nate's not smart enough to be Gossip Girl unless everything is just a huge fucking act. Which, cool, but I think that it's a little too much of a stretch. I'd believe Chuck. I'd believe Dan with releasing Inside and all that stuff. I believe Dan could do it. I believe it could be Bart, because I'm still not convinced Bart's dead. But I do not believe that they're going to let it end up being Nate, but I do believe that at this moment, the staff is convinced, or whoever is running it is convinced, Nate is currently Gossip Girl.
That would be a fair assumption. Who did you think Diana called?
So it almost led me to believe, my first watch through, I was like, why is she calling Louis? Because it cuts right to Louis. But then I realized that that was just a progression thing. I'm assuming she called grandfather because she sees him later in the end.
I mean, that's when we figure out what it was.
Yeah.
But like initially.
Well, the first time I watched and they cut right to Louis, I thought it was Louis.
It doesn't. The next scene is Lily.
Oh, right. It's because then we see Louis. It was because the next time we see Louis, he releases the stuff.
Okay.
So that's why I was thinking it was Louis at that time.
No thoughts that she could have been calling Gossip Girl?
Well, no, because he just left.
Fair enough.
Can you imagine now? Excuse me, I need to take this call. It's like voice modulated Nate on the other end. Yes, we will meet up soon.
That comes outside like Kirsten Bell.
Yeah, Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell? Kristen?
One of them.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Veronica Mars.
Lily gets a call from Blair fishing for more info on the party. Lily, with a huge grin on her face, bold-faced lies about what will be at the party while Charlie listens in the background. After the call, Lily is eager to gossip about Max. Charlie apologizes to Lily for having her find out about the whole Ivy Dickens thing that way. Lily puts all the blame on Carol.
Yeah. Well played, Charlie.
Yep.
Really well played. Way to put Lily and Carol against each other even further. Divide them more. Divide and conquer. I also loved Lily fucking with Blair.
She was so happy about it.
Shaved ice and just to hear Blair on the other end and just knowing how bad. And I loved the explanation too. How Charlie was like, "Isn't this kind of mean?" And she's like, "This is the one thing Blair isn't going to have control over in her life. Let us have this."
We see Max in a crappy-looking apartment pull a playbill from a packing box. He sees Ivy and Carol both listed, but then a third listing, although we don't see the face, for Charlie Rhodes. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I honestly feel like Charlie had another easy out here of like, yeah, my mom didn't want me associated with it, so I switched names with the stage manager. Not a great one, but like there are ways around. Oh, it was a misprint in the thing.
Presumably he was also working the show.
Oh, was he also a theater person? I didn't get that.
I figured he was not like a theater, but like more like a stagehand or something like that.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't really put that together. But he finds this out.
Unfortunately, I saw this scene when we get the close up. Her picture is cut off, and the cat. There is a cast photo above. We know she's in the middle of the middle row. She's the Queen of Hearts. So, but her face is cut off there.
Oh, for the Charlie Rhodes.
Yeah. So we don't get to see her here at all.
Smart. I thought there just wasn't a picture of her on there. I thought that.
That's what I thought originally. And it was kind of weird. It's like, why are you showing pictures of the like stage manager and like a donator, someone who donated money to the show and not the cast? But then, yeah, the above photo is like a group photo of the cast, and like,
okay.
and it's like if you read the prints, it's like left to right, first row, middle row, and front row.
Yeah.
Charlotte Rhodes was in the middle row, and the fourth from the end. Chuck returns home to find the escorts sitting alone on the couch in towels. One tells him that Dan left when they were in the shower together. The other one just sits there looking incredibly bored.
Yeah, we went into the shower and waited for him and never showed up. Just something about being a man of action.
He said something about a shower, so we figured, yeah, let's go get a shower.
Yeah.
And then he never showed up.
Oh. I just now put that together. I don't know why.
I figured you didn't.
I didn't put that together at all, and that is so funny. I'm such an idiot, but that is so funny.
Blair finds Louis on Serena's computer, but Blair is too distracted to think twice about it. She says that perhaps he was right about her friends, but it's time to go to the shower. Before following her, Louis hangs back to publish the list of Gossip Girl sources.
You fucking asshole. Also, Serena, there's a little X at the top of the browser that lets you, like, close things out so that people... But also, like, you went into someone else's laptop and uploaded something to someone else's company's website. Fraud from the Prince of Monaco.
And this is what Gossip Girl has to say about it. It's important to be careful about what you tell others, because sometimes your words can come back to haunt you. It can happen to anybody, even me. We move into Act 4. Of course, Serena threw the perfect breakfast at Tiffany's themed shower, and Blair is pleasantly surprised when she and Louis arrive. Serena and Blair hug, crisis momentarily averted.
Yeah. Beautiful shower when she walks in, and Blair is immediately thrilled and loses all of her concerns of her friends abandoning her and not having her best interests at heart.
And, of course, we will be talking about Breakfast at Tiffany's on our first Patreon episode.
Yes.
Patreon.com/non-judging-breakfast-pod. The minions get an alarming text just before Serena gets up to give her toast. Serena gives a lovely speech honoring her long friendship with Blair. She announces everyone gets a blue Tiffany's box. One will contain a Tiffany's diamond ring. The rest are empty. After the speech, minions reveal Gossip Girl's list of sources have been released.
Why? Why is the party favor one ring for one person?
Yeah, I get having like a big fancy ring in one, but then you put like a, $3, $5 for
$400
for Serena. Yeah, for Serena.
Yeah. You have like this nice $10,000 ring and then a bunch of other like $400 rings.
Fucking Serena.
Fucking Serena.
A drunk and belligerent Dan gets onto an elevator with a group of party guests. He rambles on about how he's crashing the party. The guests seem disgusted.
Penn, your drunk is your Joe Goldberg. It's almost the same thing. Like it's
really?
the crazy Joe. Like when he gets when Joe starts getting like animated, but like I just thought that it was a terrible drunk. Like I didn't like. It felt.
I was entertained by it.
Forced. I was entertained. I thought that the acting was mid, but I was entertained by the scene.
I think the acting accomplished what it was trying to accomplish.
Sure.
Serena calls Nate about the list. Nate assumes Diana posted the list. Serena asks him to fix it while she does damage control at the party.
Did she give her speech, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I loved her speech for Blair. It was very sweet, very heartfelt, and very like season 5 Serena.
Yeah. Well, that was like 3 seasons ago.
Oh, was it? I thought I was right there. I thought that all happened at the same time because then she leaves the speech and sees Penelope and then...
Yeah. But that was 2 seasons ago.
Was it? My bad. All right. I'm catching up.
Yeah, so you had the speech, then you had Dan on the elevator, then you had Serena call Nate.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I don't know how I flaked on that. Well, I know how I flaked on it. But yes, now Serena calls Nate. Moving on.
Dan and Chuck arrive. Louis goes to intercept Chuck, but when Chuck says he's there to stop Dan from making a scene, Louis lets him through.
Yeah, and grumpily, like, why don't you ask him for yourself?
I actually really liked Louis' act in this scene, the way he just like swung his whole body around to stop him.
Yeah. Oh, when they first confronted it, yeah. Well,
he turns around and like the way he turns around, like it was like almost like a running back. I mean,
yeah.
Diana meets with the grandfather to tell him she saw a new side of Nate today. William makes a crude joke about the intimate nature of her relationship with his grandson. She tells him she was ready to stand by Nate and go to war against him until Gossip Girl's list was leaked. Before we can hear how this affects her plans, they are interrupted by Nate and the scene cuts.
Yeah. I had trouble really caring about this because I want her gone so bad anyway. But like how she's like now trying to recruit Nate to go to war against grandfather, which not difficult to do. I think
she's not, though.
Well, she says, I mean, she's saying there that she's trying.
No, she said she was going to.
Right.
This is what I was going to do until the list leaked.
Right. No, I'm saying that was a bad idea. I mean, that was a feasible idea in the first place because getting Nate to go against grandfather would not be too tough, especially if you're the hot older woman he's banging.
But you keep talking about going to war in the present tense, but that never is going to happen.
No, yeah, I get you.
The leaked list is causing chaos at the bridal shower. Blair is finally looped in on what's going on when Penelope shows Blair the list on her phone. Serena is trying to do damage control by announcing it's time for everyone to open their boxes. Of course, her air quotes cousin gets the diamond and the rest of the gets get diddly squat.
Nothing.
Charlie immediately panics when she sees Max get off the elevator. She starts to pull him off towards her room, and he says he knows the real Charlie is in Florida.
Yeah. Yep.
Blair is being lambasted by the minions for all the shit she slung at Gossip Girl over the years.
Yeah, I mean, but like, it's not like you didn't know that already, and it's not like Blair wasn't just as nasty to you in person.
Yeah.
Like,
so we do learn that Penelope has a shrine to Nate.
Yeah, which, of course.
Cotty has some issues with excess hair. And Jessica went commando to her communion.
Yes. Which means she was in like 8th grade or 6th grade. Like, gross.
Now, did she do it? We'll have to ask Alice this, but did she do it because she was trying to be sultry or just because she was
forgot?
Yeah. She's kind of airheaded.
Yeah.
The character is airheaded. Chuck fails to stop a drunken Dan from confronting Blair about his many grievances. Chuck and Louie also show up, and Blair asks Louie to handle them, and he escorts Chuck and Dan out.
Yeah. And which Chuck was there to do in the first place. And also, like, God damn it, Dan, just way to screw yourself over when Blair is sitting there like, finally, someone who's not mad at me. Thank you, Dan. And he's like, wait a second.
I love the scene.
I did too. But it's like, Dan, you fucking idiot.
Blair confronts Serena about the Gossip Girl list being on her computer. Blair says Serena intentionally sabotaged her night and Louie was right about her. Serena protests and says she tried to stop the list from getting out. Serena thinks it must have been Diana. She thinks that because only Serena, Diana, Nate, and Louie knew about it.
So I thought this was one of those moments where the writing, the directing, and the acting all came together masterfully. The way that Serena is, well, only Diana, Nate, and I knew about it. I mean, and Louis, but
Blair,
and the look on her face. Yeah. It was just like both Blake's acting of just obviously it can't be him, and then Leighton's face when she looks at him, and it's a punch in the gut, and she knows instantly who did it. And it was just like, I felt like it was a masterclass in tying all of the production qualities together in one moment right there.
And this is what Gossip Girl had to say about it. Sorry, B. Must be hard to keep your head above water when your prince is causing everyone around you to drown.
Good line, too, Gossip Girl.
We move into Act 5. Nate asks Diana and the grandfather if they have been working together the whole time. They both deny it. Diana takes the fall for the leak, and grandfather uses this as an opportunity to push her out of The Spectator.
Yep. So she gets canned, and Nate is now the new editor. Or did he?
No, he didn't say
he
that yet.
He doesn't say it yet, but yeah, she gets canned. We know that that's grandfather's plan because he had said it earlier in the episode. And yeah, he has the out. I thought that she was going to fight. Again, like she indicated earlier that she was looking to fight grandfather. And this is where I was really like, you're just going to back out? Like, what's your plan here? What you have been saying over and over, you have a plan, you're working towards something. I don't feel like you're just going to walk away that easy.
Well, the other meta indicator that Diana will be back is the fact that, of course, Nate's going to find out that she did not leak the list.
Right.
At this point, he thinks that she leaked the list.
Yeah.
But she's going to, I'm sure he'll find out that it was Louis.
Yeah. Next episode, he should.
From one of the front.
Yeah.
Someone in the front group will tell.
Yeah. Why isn't Blair getting married? You see.
Alone in her bedroom, Max shows Ivy the playbill. She says she can still get him the $50K and they can go away together, but he responds back with everything she says is a lie. She gives him her new ring as down payment on the hush money.
And I'll get you the rest later. How much is that ring worth? You don't even know. You don't know how much you just handed. That could be $50K right there. You don't know.
She's just going to give him another $50K on top just to be safe.
I mean, which, fair deal.
Yeah.
Take it, Max.
Yeah, just take it and run.
Take it. You don't want...
That was just, that's like just a marker. Say she's good for it.
Yeah. Take it.
The money, because remember, she said, the money is real. Prove it. Okay, here's fucking the ring.
Yeah. She proved it. She fucking proved it. Here.
Yeah. And we do get a full look at the cast poster at this point, but even zooming in on a high-res screen grab, all I can really tell is the person is blonde and most likely female presenting, but I'm not even 100% sure on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's just too out of focus.
Yeah. That'd be really funny. Cece doesn't know her own grandkids so badly that she doesn't know that her daughter had a boy.
Or Charlie is a kind of neutral name.
Yeah.
They could be taking.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I've always said that, Bailey lucked out being born with a with a gender neutral name.
Chuck finds Dan spiraling on a random New York stoop. He finally realizes that Dan is in love with Blair as well. Chuck says Blair follows her heart and they both lost, but at least they are on the outside together. Chuck helps Dan up off the stoop.
You're really going to make me do this? You're really going to make me sit on a stoop? This was a great Chuck-Dan scene. I loved it.
In a post-heated rivalries world, this episode would have ended very differently.
Right. Yes.
Blair kind of cock-blocked there at the end. Blair confronts Louis about leaking the list. Louis tries to turn it back on Blair because he read about Chuck and Blair going to the theater together. She turns it back on him when she reveals it was Beatrice who sent out the blast about her paternity test. Blair tells Louis to leave because she needs time alone to rethink the relationship.
Yeah. Fuck off, Louis.
Bye-bye.
Blair's greatest point here, why didn't you could have come to talk to me. You could have shown me. You didn't need to ruin our shower.
Yeah.
You could have just been like, hey, Blair, this is how much your friends hate you. Then you would have won, Louis. So good thing you did the dickhead thing. I also want to point out that throughout this whole episode, they also never mentioned the pregnancy at all. And I just kind of imagined it going the way of college. I just stopped talking about it and ignored that it ever happened.
That'd be nice. This is what Gossip Girl says as we go to the final break. Guess this shower's officially over. It looks like B's the one throwing in the towel. We move into the epilogue. Serena and Blair are alone after the party, eating cake and doing some bonding. Blair is worried about Louis self-destructing the relationship. Blair asks Serena not to tell anyone Louis leaked the list. Blair is shocked when Serena tells her that Chuck only showed up to stop Dan from ruining the party.
Yeah, so leave it alone, Blair. Yeah, he's actually doing some
You really
good
need to
things.
go over there in the middle of the night.
Yeah, he's actually been doing good things lately when he's not around you. Leave it alone.
This season really has it's like a weird thing about, they're clearly showing being around Blair makes you bad.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
The grandfather says he's going to continue investing in the paper and names Nate the new editor-in-chief because he's earned it.
He sure has.
They smugly look on as that peasant Diana is packing her things in the next room.
Sure earned it, Nate. You earned this job by your grandfather already buying the company, installing the person that he wanted to have you have rehabilitate your image. Fucking earned it.
I literally laughed out loud, even though I've seen this episode multiple times. Serena returns to the Waldorf apartment to find Max creepily waiting in the shadows for her. He begs her to forgive him for standing him up, which she does.
Max, you fucking asshole. And Serena, it's not your fault. You don't know.
Why did he even go into the whole begging thing? Why didn't he just tell the truth that Diana lady told me that you were inside and to come find you, and I couldn't find you?
Yeah.
I didn't stand you up.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. Like the truth was actually like a better avenue.
I mean, he can omit the whole thing about kissing her cousin.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I went looking for you
and
could not find you in there because of that crazy lady you work for.
But also, let's add the doorman to the shittiest system column for letting this random person into the Waldorf's apartment.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he could have just murdered them all.
Yeah.
When they came up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just the penthouse button on the elevator there. Go on up. They do that. Like, how often does that happen? They just like let people into the
Usually
apartment.
it's at least plausible. Like, it's someone that's been there before.
Yeah, it's one of the friends.
This is a
catering.
completely unknown person to the Waldorfs.
Yeah.
He's never been there before.
Yeah. No. I'm just friends with them. Sure.
Wait in the lobby. Diana calls the grandfather and explains she took the fall so Nate wouldn't find out her secret, but if she goes down, William goes down with her.
Yeah, so the feeling of this secret having something to do with Chuck because they've set that up, right? They've set up she's in Bart's file, Chuck recognizes her but doesn't recognize her. We have these like weird, like maybe she's Chuck's mom thing. So why is grandfather now also tied up in whatever she's doing? Which that's what's weird to me.
Well, I mean, what other reasons could she be in Bart's folder? What other kind of things was Bart involved in?
I mean, Bart, the whole murder of the mom, right? Of Chuck's mom. Not that he was directly. Oh no! I'm sorry, not the mom.
You mean the fire? You mean
the fire? Yeah. Raina's mom and all that stuff, which we
but everyone in the inner circle already knows that.
Yeah, that's he's vindicated of that. I mean, the private investigators. I mean, she could be somehow connected to the private investigators because he had people.
What other organization was Bart involved in?
Their organization. He was a realtor?
More on the seedy side.
Oh, wait a second. There was
Season 2.
Yeah, there was that. What was that? Fuck, it was so long ago.
The Eyes Wide Shut episodes.
Yeah.
With the escort and the
right.
secret gentleman society.
Yes.
Chuck was involved, or his father was involved in it, Carter was involved in it.
Right.
Possibly grandfather.
Possibly grandfather. That would make sense for grandfather as well. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so maybe she's like a former, like, Eyes Wide Shut prostitute from that organization. Yeah, I remember now. God, that was such a dumb episode.
2 episodes.
Yeah, 2 dumb episodes.
Well, Chuck was off doing that while everyone else was like, we had to play with the rest of the people on the one episode, and then I forget what they did in the other episode. Max leaves a voicemail for Ivy that his payoff number just went from 50,000 to 500,000
On a voicemail.
Yes, on a voicemail.
Good job.
So Ivy just needs to go to find Max in person. If you release my secret, I'm just going to take this to the cops.
Yeah.
And while her crime, I went into ChatGPT and also talked to an unnamed lawyer friend about which is the worst crime. And while Ivy's crime is worse, they are both felonies worth serious jail time.
And there is one little piece of nuance that from the ChatGPT question and from our friend's response, one little nuance that wasn't in there is the fact that Charlie, well, for one, she is also blackmailing someone herself. She's also blackmailing Carol. That's how she hasn't been outed by Carol, is because it's the same sort of...
That's not really blackmail. That's just pointing out the mutual destruction.
Right. But because of that, she's almost kind of doing this with the permission of Carol. So...
But
the person who
the only person that can really give that permission would be Charlotte. She is an adult now.
Right. Yeah. And again, we don't know the kind of control that Carol has over Charlotte, that she could get Charlotte on board. I feel like there are avenues still for Charlie to get out of this with Carol's cooperation, right? But Max, you're just leaving voicemails saying, I'm blackmailing you for $500,000. And so, yeah, I think that Charlie is in line for a more serious sentence should they get charged. I feel like Charlie also has a more feasible way out of this than Max.
Not really.
Or she has to kill him. Is it time that someone on Gossip Girl finally kills someone? They've
Besides Bart,
which
of course I guess it was actually what's the name, Russell.
Yeah. Russell has actually murdered somebody and was ready to murder Blair.
Yes.
Attempted murder on Blair.
Murder-suicide.
Yeah. And then the closest other murder that we had was Juliet, when she was like, I'm going to handle Serena once and for all.
By talking to her
before I kill her. And then my monologuing will save both of us.
Diana looks longingly at the spectator flag as her limo gets ready to pull away.
Yeah. See ya.
Ta-ta for now.
Yep.
Chuck helps Dan onto the couch at the Empire Suite, and he immediately passes out. When Chuck turns around, he is surprised to see Blair there. She says she knows he's been good this whole time.
So what, Blair? Go home. Go home. Why? I was so annoyed by that. Like, oh, you're good and you've been good this whole time. I'm going to come over right now to let you know I know. A text, Blair. This could have been a text.
And this is how Gossip Girl ends the episode. Loyal readers, I'd like to apologize to all of you for the awful and embarrassing breach of security that happened tonight. In bad times like this, you have many options. You can choose to go on the offensive and come out swinging, or you can pack your bags and admit defeat, or you can drink yourself into oblivion and hope it will all just go away. Whatever I choose to do to win back your trust, one thing is certain, this is not the end between us. Because try as you might to fight it, you know you love me. XOXO Gossip Girl. That is our episode. What is coming next?
For one, we're going to see we're gonna whatever. Fucking Blair.
Are Blair and Chuck gonna bang with Dan right in the next room?
I don't think so. I think Chuck, in his "I'm trying to actually be good" thing, is gonna be like, come back with cooler heads. I would really like that. I would hope that that's the angle Chuck goes with. Because I also think that Chuck, knowing that Dan is in love with Blair, and Chuck actually being friends with Dan now, because we didn't even address how he said to Dan, this time you have someone on the outside with you. That's the most kind thing Chuck has said to anybody in this show so far. Like, you have somebody with
sad.
you. Yeah, it's super sad. But he's like, now you have, like, you have a friend to go through this with. That is, like, seriously next level kindness from Chuck. The most we've seen from him. And so I don't think that would lead him to go through with it. In fact, I think if anything, he might be like, Blair and I are bad news. I'm going to push Dan and Blair. I could see Chuck kind of helping that and fostering that. We're going to see Nate run a company.
Yes. Oh,
with
glorious Nate.
Yeah. Oh, Nate, with your sharp wit and fantastic intuition. So that's going to be fun. Something's got to happen with this baby. There's still a baby floating around that needs to be born or otherwise taken care of. God, I hate sounding like that. It's an imaginary baby. It's not a real baby, folks.
Don Cheadle in Endgame. Breaking the baby Thanos' neck.
Or the satyr glasses. Firstborn of death.
Now, were they specifically babies, or were they just the firstborn regardless of age?
It was the firstborn. Well, I guess it was regardless of age.
Yeah,
but it's kind of associated with babies. And the glasses we had for reference. We hosted a Passover Seder, and my wife got glasses that represented the 10 plagues. And one of the plagues, as you may know, is the death of the firstborn. And let me just say that the dead baby glasses were quite horrifying. They looked so peaceful. I should post them in the Discord for frame of reference.
Any other predictions?
Someone's deleting us from all this talk about dead babies. Oh, something coming out about the relationship between Bart and Diana.
Yeah, Diana's secret's got to come out.
Yeah, Diana's secret has to come out, and that's going to get in there. And I think there's going to be a Bart grandfather something going on there. And I don't think this wedding's going to happen. I don't think Louis' gone. Louis' not gone, is he? You would tell me if he was gone.
Hugo Becker is not. He will be seen again.
Hugo Becker will be back as Louis' twin brother.
Yeah. Twin brother Louis.
It's like his long lost American twin who now also has right to ascendancy. But they have to dub his accent.
Or you could just whisper like Ed.
Or just whisper, Blair, I am Louis' long lost brother.
Let's get into segments.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman.
Hello.
Good boy.
This week in fandom, we jumped into the Wayback Machine to travel to the fan forums from 2011. The overall impression, most people seem to like the episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
They loved the Chuck and Dan scenes.
Yep.
Louis needs to leave. Chuck, Blair, Dan is the real triangle.
Yes.
Drunk Dan was hilarious.
He was funny. I just didn't think I didn't think he played drunk very well, but I thought he was effective in what he was doing.
A lot of back and forth on how deep Blair's friendship with Dan is.
Yeah. I feel like they're the kind of friends that when they're together, they're the best of friends. And when they're apart, she doesn't think much about it. I think that he thinks a lot about her, but she doesn't think a lot about him when they're not around each other.
I mean, she said earlier in the season that she went to him because she knew he would stop her from giving into her worst instincts.
Yeah. And she does, I think she does love him in that friend way. I think she has feelings for him that she doesn't like having.
I don't know if you watched her face much in their conversation. It was kind of interesting.
How she went from
like, oh, she kind of like took it to heart. It seemed like,
yeah,
baby, I haven't been the best friend.
Yeah. I did pick up on that.
Let's get into episode grades. You went first last time, so I am going first this week. Yeah, so much better episode. Much better episode than last week. Directing was good. Dialogue was good. A lot of funny scenes with Dan and Chuck. Didn't like some of the overall stuff, as we've said, but that's kind of not really... I don't take that against the individual episodes, so I ended up with a B.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I loved the interactions that we had with the non-judging Breakfast Club when we had them. I really like Serena this season so far, and I know I missed talking about her speech when it happened, but the way that she handled Blair this whole episode like the best friend that she wanted to be. So there was and yeah, overall, I'm with you that this was a B episode. One of the better ones this season for sure.
On to Stock Watch. Going up, I have Serena for planning a great shower. I had Nate going up for earning his right to be editor-in-chief. I had Chuck for continuing to be a good guy, helping out Dan and being a good friend to Dan, supporting him, taking care of him. I had Max going up because looks like he's going to get some $500,000 because Ivy's too stupid to go back and reverse blackmail him.
Yeah.
And I had the grandfather going up because he accomplished his goal of getting Nate as editor-in-chief.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Who do you have going up?
So I had all the same people for one. I had Nate for getting the company. I had Chuck for being a good friend. Serena for planning a great party. Grandfather for whatever shenanigans he's pulling. They're going in the way he wants. Max being on the upper hand of this, for right now anyway. The other one, because he was mentioned and I love him and miss him, Eric.
I was thinking about it, but he didn't really do anything.
Well, he did get them in touch with Jonathan, who did expose Gossip Girl. But Jonathan's a dick, so I don't really care as much about him.
And exposing Gossip Girl was not... It wasn't really exposing Gossip Girl. It was exposing everyone else.
Yeah.
So it was not that
it was
really a good thing.
Yeah. But it's still, I love Eric.
Sure.
And I miss him.
Anyone else?
That's it for going up.
Going down for me, I had Dan because he was just a sad sack again.
Sad, pathetic Dan.
I had Blair going down because it looks like her marriage is breaking up.
Before it even happened.
I had Ivy/Charlie going down because she's being blackmailed.
On the ropes again.
Yeah. I had Louis going down because he was fucking a jackass, abusive douchebag. Mm-hmm. I had Diana going down because she lost her job.
Yep. You suck.
And the Waldorf doorman under the assistant column going down.
Yes. Yeah, I believe I am right in line with you. I'm trying to think if there was anyone else specifically.
Dan, Blair, Ivy.
Yeah, Dan, Blair,
Louis,
Ivy, Louis.
And the doorman?
And I'll give the doorman too, because the assistants on this show need to learn a thing or two. And yeah, I think that is... Oh, no, the other one that's going down, we've never done this before, Gossip Girl. Because Gossip Girl was put kind of on the ropes
she got
as
hacked.
well.
She got hacked. That's fair enough.
She got hacked, and I don't think we have ever awarded her stock one way or another
I don't think we have.
before. And so,
Interesting.
yes, Gossip Girl has entered this. Gossip Girl has now gained a portfolio, and it's in the negative. But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
On to best outfits. For me, it was not a great episode. Blair's orange outfit was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Serena's okay. I just didn't like the wings thing she had going on. Like her dress, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I actually ended up giving it to Chuck with his 3-piece gray suit. Had light blue accent stitching paired with a lavender striped shirt and a tie with light blue accents. Also had matching pocket square and boutonniere, along with brown patent leather shoes.
Yeah, he was sharp. However, I was also annoyed by the wings on it, but the rest of the print on Serena's dress and the way that it just, I thought that I loved it. So I gave it to Serena, even despite the weird wings.
That is it for segments. Do you have anything you would like to plug?
So I've talked a lot about reading the audiobooks for Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm now reading one of Matt Dinniman, the author. I'm reading his latest book, Operation Bounce House, which is not related to those books, but it's still sort of a sci-fi RPG kind of book, and I highly recommend it. I'm about halfway through, and I've been really enjoying the book so far. But I'm reading that one.
Okay. And I am going to recommend the YouTube channel Josh Turner Guitar. This young man has over 10 years of music on his channel. A lot of cover songs, some original. Him and his very talented friends. Looks like from his older videos, started about he's probably like 16, 17. But he's got over 10 years of it going on.
Nice.
So a really fun channel, Josh Turner Guitar. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA on Instagram and Blue Sky. You can follow the podcast on Threads, TikTok, and Instagram at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find links to our subreddit, to our Patreon, and our Discord server on our webpage, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear what you have to say. Please go ahead and send us an email to nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com, and we'll even try to read your thoughts here on our podcast. While you're listening, why don't you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, or follow button? And if you leave a comment, that really helps boost our visibility in Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And finally, since you're enjoying listening to us so much, why don't you go ahead and tell your friends what you're listening to as well? Maybe your coworkers are really into Gossip Girl and you just don't know it. Go ahead and make us your water cooler talk next week at work.
And we'll be back next week to talk about Season 5, Episode 9, titled Roads to Perdition.
Loved it.
Spelled like the name of the last name.
Yeah.
And the CW episode description reads, Lily, Charlie, and Serena eagerly anticipate the Studio 54 party being thrown in Cece's honor. Nate takes on a new role at The Spectator, but his first big story turns out to be about someone he knows all too well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there.